Yeah, come at me.
Talk us through the third round, Brad. You both looked incredibly tired. Jamie just wouldn't go down.
Yeah, man. I guess like on your debut, you really want to perform and impress and kind of solidify your spot in the UFC that you belong there and you deserve it. And he wanted to be there, but I wanted to be there more. You know what I mean? Like I posted yesterday saying that I was willing to kill in there, but I was also willing to die in there, and I was going to come out on my shield. You know, there was no way I wasn't going to leave everything in there, and I felt like I did leave everything in there. At one stage, my legs were so heavy, I was struggling to stand up. You know, but I got up and I kept punching, and I was just pure mana. You know, I wanted to win. You know, I live for this, and so that's what I did.
Describe that walkout to the octagon. Right? Was everything you could imagine?
Yeah, man, like everything and more. You know, coming out to ACDC, I knew it hit a spot, and you know, I could hear the crowd. It sounded like my crowd, you know, and like the coolest thing was when I was walking out those aisles, I could see my whole gym. You know, like pretty much my entire gym was down that row, so it was like walking out at home or showing up to sparring at training. So it was a pretty unreal feeling, like looking left and right and just seeing faces I know them, I know her, I know him, and it was very, very cool. And I felt like I was just soaking in the energy, and my coach said to me before I walked out to not lose energy but use the energy. So you know, that's what I did, and I started like a little bit shaky. It took me a while to get my eye on, and then I got it on, and then I thought, you know, it wasn't my best performance, but it was a performance.
Talk about mana as well, like what does it mean for New Zealand?
It's everything for me, you know, mana. I mean, you know this, it's your heart, it's like your people's heart, it's my gym, it's my family, it's me representing everything deeper in my culture, not just my gym and the guys that I train with on my team, but like the roots of my country. And you know, we had some very deep Polfitties before we came out here, and it just made me think about it a little bit more, that it's bigger than just me, this sport. You know, it's like me trying to put my country on the map, my two little warrior islands, and I feel like we're doing that tonight. Like me, Dan, and Israel are going to do that. So yeah, I'm proud of myself.
You're showing the battle scars and the war paint on your shorts. Do you think this was a good way or a good fight for you to kind of announce yourself to the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, it's good for like publicity and stuff like that, but it's not good for my looks. You know, my modeling career is going like a little bit further away every time. Getting some more scars, my ears are getting a bit more chewed up, and my nose ain't looking so great. But you know, hopefully my hairline's going to cover this one on my eyebrows, so I'll carry on all good.
Were you able to see your teammates' reaction to the win?
Nah, man, not yet, but let's have a look at it. Yeah, man, it's.
How good does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's good, man. Like, there's like a select few people that get in the trench with you. Yeah, I mean, I'm like referring to like the world wars when the guys were in the trench and trying to kill the other guys, and they look left and they look right, and they have other men next to them looking after them and trying to do the same thing. And those guys in that change room are like demonstrating that thing in like a modern day society. You know, those guys jump in the trench with me every single day, every single hour at training, and you invest in each other, you know, because without each other we're not going to get better. And that's them, like, you know, portraying their love, giving me their mana through the TV, and I know it, you know, like I feel it. And yeah, you guys saw me in that cage. I wasn't giving up, you know, I was going to die in there, and I was swinging with everything I had left.
Were you surprised Malaki was able to eat some of those shots?
Yeah, I'm always pretty surprised when someone can eat like some of my clean shots, because I'm set quite heavy, you know. I'm built to hit hard. I know I do hit hard, but you know, adrenaline's a hell of a drug. You know, like if you're jacked up in there and you want to win it just like I do, like you will stay up at all costs. You know, like there's a lot on the line, and sometimes the crowd forgets this. You know, they're just watching this for a fight, entertainment sport. But for us in there fighting, it's like I said before, it's deeper. You know, I mean, it's not just like a little fist fight. There's always like extra factors behind it. So I'm kind of surprised, but massive respect to him for having as much heart as I did.
Earlier this week, Eugene Berman told us that he had kind of prepped you for the UFC in the same way as he prepped Israel. Like he feels like you're a guy who can come in here and go straight to the top of the division. Is that how you feel as well?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get there. I feel like today was a little bit of a rocky start, and it was my first time down to that weight class for a long time. And I didn't quite carry my weight as well as I will in the future, but it's only up from here, and I'm gonna prove my coaches right. Like he believes in me, and I believe in myself, and he says I'm going to get to the top, and I will get to the top. I'll do it for them.
That moment at the end of the third round when you're both on your knees with your opponent and you throw that hook, do you remember that, or was that just?
Yeah, man. That last one, I just saw his face sitting there. I knew the bell was coming. I could hear Eugene yelling, like it's gonna come, and I was just like, I had this vision of just knocking him out, like right then on the ding, But like, man, he took it. Like I hit the jaw hard too, and again, credit to him. And I thought I was gonna finish him a couple of times. You know what I mean? Like it was damn close. He was doing the skanky leg, and he was wobbling around, and I had him on the ground, flattened out, and I was bombing shots into him, and he was just yelling. Just out of frustration, because I was like, I still have more gas and I was stronger, and I could feel it. I thought it was coming as well, and he's like yelling. He goes, "I'm all good," to the ref, and I was like, "Fuck, this guy's, I'm pumping him." But what can you say, man? Like, just respect, Like after you share the cage with another man like that, or another woman if you're female, like, there's nothing more to be said. You had a fist fight. You're a modern day gladiator.
Is that the best time of your life in there, or was that the worst time?
Best time of my life, man. Like I want to live doing anything else. This is what I live for. So I spend every hour in the gym doing this. When I go home, I spend every hour trying to get recovered so that I can go back and do this. It's literally all I care about, and it's I'm very privileged to be able to do the thing I love. As my job. Very few people get to do that, so it's very cool.
Are you like Eugene and immediately start thinking about what's next, and if so?
Always, man. Every single time. As soon as I walk out of the cage, I start critiquing myself and pulling things apart, and I look at his face and I'm trying to read him, thinking, man, did he think that was a shit performance, or did he think that was a good performance? And I care, Like I'm very invested in my coaches, and I care about what they think. I can't just walk out there and say to myself, "Oh, that was a good fight." Like I care more about what they think about my performance than what I actually feel about it. If I thought it was a great performance and they said it was average, I'd automatically think I'd just disregard mine. So I instantly asked them if they were happy with it, and they said today it was a hell of a fight, and they're happy with the fight, and they know and I know I'm going to go up from here.
You expecting the bonus?
Man, like money's money. Like if I get the bonus, great. I'd always love it, because that's more money for me, that's more money for my team. We do this for a job. We'll see how the rest of the night pans out. But I go in there with just one thing on my mind, and that's winning and representing my gym, and my country and my people.
You exchanged words with him in the cage afterwards. What did you say?
I said that was a hell of a fight, bro. So that was a hell of a fight, and he goes, yeah, and he loved it. And then his coach Ross came up to us afterwards, and he loved it too. Ross is an old war dog. He's been in the game a long time, so he loves the scrap. And so that would have been like an ideal fight for him to watch. And sometimes that's how you got to fight. It can't be all like fancy and pick and choose and slip and hit and move. Sometimes you just got to go in there, put your head down, bite your mouth guard, and fight. And that's what I did.
You said you wanted to get on that December 14 card after you came out of this one relatively healthy.
I'm sweet.
How are you feeling?
I got a few stitches, man. 4 or 5 days they'll be out of my eye. Another week it'll glue up and I'll be back training. I would love to back it up on December the 14th. You know what I mean? Like the window on the sport, the opportunity is very, very small, and I want to jump back in there and fight as soon as I can. And there's nothing better than fighting with your teammates on a card, filling up the locker room with all your boys. At the moment out the back, I've got like 15 of my team from my gym in my locker room, like you just showed me. And it's a very unique feeling. It feels like I'm at home. I couldn't walk out with more comfort. So I would love to do that again in Vegas.
You've had some big moments in kickboxing and Muay Thai. How does this compare to those achievements?
Oh man, this is like those moments on steroids, maybe on crack cocaine. Like it is crazy. There's nothing like fighting in the UFC. And there's nothing like fighting in front of 50,000 people in the UFC pretty much at home. So I feel very privileged, and I thank the UFC for giving me this opportunity. And I hope they enjoyed it, man. I hope I got some more fans around the world. And at least you guys know that when I get in there, no matter how the fight's going, I'm going to fight, you know.